It is September 9th, 2021, and you're listening to Gender Queries on 100.5 FM, CFRO, Vancouver's Cooperative Radio. And joining us now is Wulf. Wulf, tell us a little bit about why you're here and your name and pronouns.
Hi. Hi, my name is Wulf. My pronouns are he, him. Thank you very much for having me on. I am here because I'm one of many people experiencing the fun dance of finding their vaccine passport in their dead name. I've also got experience with having had problems with MSP for the last 5 years since my legal name change, not updating parts of records and then having their system revert. So the other day I sat down and spent 12 hours on the phone yelling at everything that I could possibly get to answer the phone. And I got a bunch of information about how this all works. And now I start making a very public fuss until they fix it for all of us.
Yeah, so basically, the issue is a lot of trans folks, when they go to the vaccine card website, that's gov.bc.ca/vaccinecard.html. And they go through the process, and we see dead names pull up in the vaccine passport name as opposed to our current legal names. So, what have you discovered, and what can you tell us, and how can we fix this?
Okay, so a little bit of back history. 5 years ago, and I don't know when it ended, but for certain 5 years ago, there was a policy that MSP had that trans folks who changed their names couldn't get a BC services card through ICBC because ICBC, I'll cover that in a minute. But MSP said you have to come talk to us, even though ICBC issues it, before they will allow them to do this. And basically what that is there is two databases. MSP has their in-house database, and they also have another database called the Health Registry. The Health Registry is managed by ICBC. It's an MSP database that apparently MSP can't actually access in any way, shape, or form. Not sure if I believe that. And they had this, so in the past, they had this policy where you couldn't actually get your services card, and getting a BC services card is the only way to actually update the health registry. And everything, including MSP's in-house database, reverts once every few days back to the information contained in the health registry. So even if you update everything, if you didn't get a BC services card in your legal name, or if you got it right when you changed your name, there was some errors that happened, and then everything just keeps reverting back to your dead name.
Yeah, that was me too. Like I done the legal name change. I got the services card during, I guess, the same time that you did. And I kept on seeing my dead name pop up in documents on medical stuff, and it was just causing problems. So yeah.
I actually got denied a services card. So I was one of the folks when I went to ICBC with all my documentation and I got my new ID. He said, I can't give you a BC services card. And I said, well, why? He said, because you have to talk to MSP. And I'm like, okay. So I sent everything to MSP. He also sent everything to MSP. They ignored it completely. I never got a services card. I never received any instructions from them about, what to do. And so I filed a name change, online with them, I think 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And it just kept happening. I've called many times over the years. And then finally, when this vaccine passport showed up and I saw that it was in my dead name, I just kind of, lost my patience.
Yeah.
And I started calling, and I mean, it was like 12 hours of phone calls and something stupid like 50 disconnections.
Yeah,
And I finally got through.
Yeah, I saw your phone call list here. It's like just you're calling everyone. You're calling Adrian Dix. You're calling. Yeah, it's.
I literally phoned half the world. I was not having it anymore. And what I got through finally was to a level 3 team lead. And for anyone who is trying to like call MSP for any trans issues, my advice and my experience tells me when you get someone to answer the phone, literally just tell them that you got disconnected from a level 3 and you need to get back to level 3. Don't even bother with going to anything that answers the phone first. Get yourself to level 3 and then get a hold of a team lead. They're the ones that actually have any kind of useful information. This is where I found out about this magical health registry database that lives in the back of the MSP offices and they don't touch it.
Yeah. What advice did they give you to fix it?
So what they've told me is that getting a BC services card is the only way to update the database. So if you want to have your legal name change register with MSP, if it didn't when you first got it all done, and now they say they've changed everything, so it might be a little bit easier, but who knows?
Yeah.
But if you want to get this to, if you're having this problem and you want to get it to update, you have to get a BC services card issued by ICBC. It can't be one of the driver's licenses with the PHN on the back. It has to be the services card itself. That's the only thing that updates the database.
That sounds like a bloody mess.
Yeah. And considering that you have to go to a driver's services center and there's a ton of, backlog right now.
Yeah.
What I was told was that ICBC is currently saying it is 30 to 60 days before they produce the card, and the health registry database will not update until 24 to 48 hours after they produce the card. Yeah. So you have to wait for them to actually print the thing, and then the database will update. And this, great, now I know how to do it, but this is still a problem for folks like me who have that vaccine passport in their dead name, because the laws that are coming into place on September 26th, saying that we have to produce our vaccine passport and we can no longer use our paper cards. Right. My paper vaccination record is written in my legal name because I yelled at a nurse until he rewrote it. Sorry to any nurses, but if you refuse to support trans people, I will get nasty. But once the laws change on the 26th, I won't actually be able to go out and go to, even dinner with my family, because my ID is in my legal name and my MSP vaccine passport is in my dead name. So, I suppose I could bring my change of name form, but that seems a little bit, illegal. I also don't want to have to out myself as, a transgender person to go and eat ramen. Yeah. I just feel like this is too much.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's not just you who's having this issue. We've seen a bunch of cases on Reddit locally.
Currently in my inbox, I have 59 conversations open from trans folks around the province who kind of either saw my status yesterday or know me as an activist in this community, and have kind of been messaging me going, I help. Yeah. So, that's, my circle isn't that large. So yeah, it's pretty widespread. There's some folks who are, messaging me and being like, oh, I got it first time. I never had any problems. That's wonderful. I think, MSP told me yesterday that they would not confirm or deny what policy used to be, but the policy now is not to do that. So yeah, to be clear, which policy are you talking about? I'm the policy of forcing trans folks specifically to contact MSP to get approval to get issued a BC services card by ICBC. Yeah, which is just a long, convoluted sentence on it, in and of itself. I don't understand why I have to hop between like 3 agencies to get everything done. Yeah, absolutely. Just so folks know, regarding the vaccine passports being in your dead name, don't even bother phoning the vaccine passport people. They literally cannot do anything. It's all automated on their end. They're only basically there to, as one person described it, teach people how to use computers. Yeah, and I guess the only good thing about this is that it's free to get a BC services card. And it is, as far as I know, it is free. I don't know, however, if you have any outstanding fines or fees, if they're going to lord that over you. Yeah, I'm not certain. Okay. It's good to know that. I guess another good thing is that, like so many trans people have been having, their dead name pop up on health records for years after they've made a legal name change. It appears that this health registry is really the thing that's been a pain in the ass for a lot of people. And it's just kind of weird how our community is just kind of like accepting of, oh yeah, my old name's going to pop up in health records, and that's just kind of the inevitability. And but like it shouldn't be, and that sucks. And I have it down to a science now. Whenever I go into any like healthcare setting, I have my ID, I have everything, and like before they can even say hello, I'm literally in there. So I am transgender. Here is my number. You are going to find this name. We don't say this name out loud ever, and I have this whole spiel.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to deal with it, but it's also for a lot of us, it's exhausting because we're also just trying to exist as, trans people, often marginalized, underemployed, underhoused, all the challenges that we face. And then
Right.
on top of it, I have to go and, dig through 3 levels of support in MSP, and do all this stuff. Now it's so much, right?
Yeah, it's such a bloody hassle.
I will also mention that there is a potential if the driver's services BC card thing doesn't work for folks. Catherine here has also seen this get fixed through the Freedom of Information Protection and Privacy Act requests to the health minister.
Yeah.
My understanding from you was that was 30 days and they can defer, but for
They
folks
should.
who
It's,
really
I,
can't access driver services.
yeah, you can always send that email. Yeah, we'll post the email addresses of people in government, and it's kind of aggro way to do it. But you know what? I'm tired.
They deserve it. At this point, they deserve it. I mean, you and I chatted last night. You gave me that particular option, and I think I had that email out 10 minutes later just because I was like, no,
Yeah.
I am literally done playing whack-a-mole with my dead name.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
literally playing whack-a-dead name.
Yep.
Every time I turn around, it's showing up somewhere. I mean, at least this time I didn't get it on my elections card.
Well, that's good. We'll also be talking about that.
I was confused, honestly. I was super confused when the elections card showed up and it had the right name on it.
Yeah.
Both my roommate and I were kind of, picking it up and examining it like it was some magical object.
I was not so lucky personally.
Oh,
And I
oh.
know I did the process right last time. I documented everything, and yeah, I was
Well, you've
super.
worked for Elections Canada.
Yeah.
I had somebody contact me a couple days ago. I also worked for Elections Canada and in the office. So I did a bunch of trans name changes, and it turns out what happened was that they reverted the database again.
Yeah.
We're back to databases.
We're back to freaking database. The databases have been this week. Yeah, and there's the whole issue of like the National Register of Electors, and they're pulling data from a bunch of different sources, and so yeah,
Including the health registry of BC.
possibly very much including the health registry of BC. And so we're kind of tracking this. I've contacted their media rep for during the election and asked like, hey, here's my case. I did everything right. Can you go ahead and just figure out where the state is coming from? So I haven't heard that response back yet, but it's going to be an issue for them again. CBC released a story just a few minutes ago here about this, and yeah, hopefully it gets resolved this year. I think
About which elections or vaccine passports?
Elections.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too many things going on.
Yeah. Now we're recording this at 2 and it came out at noon. Basically, Deadnames. So I don't know. I think having a lot of good research and examples of what's happening will let us go ahead and like fix the situation at their end once and for all as well.
I also want to just quickly shout out Adrian Smith. I'm sure most people who listen to the show know who they are, but Adrian Smith is a Vancouver-based human rights lawyer who has apparently, completely awesome. And they have apparently had this escalated to the health minister's staff.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that this is going to come to a head because you've got me running around doing media spots. You've got Adrian basically going in government kind of idea,
right?
With all the credentials of being a fabulous lawyer, and you've got yourself and other folks. They're basically under siege right now.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident it's going to get fixed, but I am worried that they won't be able to automatically do this for trans folks, and other people have changed their name. I feel like part of whatever this solution is going to have to be either do that FIPA name change correction and / or get the services card. Like I think one of like the onus will be on trans people to initiate. Which sucks,
unfortunately it's definitely likely that that's what they're going to do is, well,
Yeah.
we gave you the option, so it's not actually transphobic, and then we'll have to sit there for 5 years explaining to them what transphobia really is again.
Yeah.
It seems like every new or re-elected government, I have to explain this concept to them all over again. No memories,
Yeah.
just no recall.
Yeah, I think it's also when governments switch, you lose people and like you lose that institutional memory, and it sucks. So, but yeah, hopefully it does get fixed. Like I'm sure if it doesn't, there's going to be a legal challenge. Like I don't think there's any question
Actually,
of that.
if it does not get fixed, I am planning on mounting a legal challenge myself.
Yeah,
So, I mean, unless they can turn around and fix it for all of trans folks, I'm definitely looking at being in the Human Rights Tribunal
yeah,
pathway,
yeah. So
because this is not. I'm done.
yeah, a lot of us are, especially after the last 2 years. we
Well,
we are
it
just
takes some
tired of
time.
this.
It takes some time to sort of needle me into actually going to the level I'm at now.
Right.
But once you get me there, it's terrier with a bone.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
absolutely.
let it go. I'm going to just get really fussy.
Yeah. So for trans folks who are having this at or trans folks in general, do check your vaccine card status before it becomes too late. Before the things come in, the restrictions. So you can do that gov.bc.ca/vaccine card.html. The site was a little slow this week, but seems to be running fine now. Verify that your name is correct. If it's not, get that BC services card, make that appointment with ICBC, and sometimes it takes a little while to make that appointment. So do that. And if you want, we're also going to have a template on our Twitter at Gender Queries with the FIPA text, the Freedom of Information Personal Privacy Correction thing.
And
And that's,
folks can always reach out to me as well
yeah,
on Facebook.
how can people reach out to you?
So if you reach out to Wulfric Odinson or Tattooed Trans Diva on Facebook, you can reach out, ask any questions you might have. There's a lot of information on my profile about all of this. It's all written out. It's all publicly viewable, so folks can come in and figure out what to do. And or if you want to join any legal challenges that are coming up, we can take a whole group.
Yeah, easier that way usually.
Yeah, if I have to do it myself, I'll do it myself. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for all your effort on this, and thanks for your time. And yeah, I hope this gets changed for you. If it doesn't, we'll have you on.
Awesome. I mean, let's chat some more. And thank you again so much for having me on today.
Yeah. Take care.